Hi, and welcome to the Service Me IT YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about how we can pass the AWS Solutions Architect exam from the comfort of your own home during lockdown. All right, let's get straight into it. So the AWS Solutions Architect Professional Level Exam, one of the most sought after certifications in the cloud industry. You can take this exam for the cost of about $300. I chose to take it from home. I found it a much better experience. During the lockdown, you haven't really got much choice, and while you've got this free time, why not do a course? Taking it at home is slightly different. You're not able to go to the toilet. You have to stay at the desk for the full duration of the exam. Anything on the desk or use of mobile phones will be cause for disqualification. Before you start the exam, you'll be delivered some software by your test provider. I chose to use Pearson's here in the UK. So yeah, this piece of software takes control of your machine. You're fully locked into the test environment just as you would be in a test center, and go for it from there. So the AWS Solutions Architect exam consists of 75 questions. They give you 180 minutes to complete these questions. So who is this exam for, and who should be taking this exam? The professional level exam is for people that have worked within the cloud environment. They say on their site with about 2 years experience, I believe it says on the AWS website. I believe you should be working in the cloud industry or working at least with AWS technologies, getting very hands-on with these technologies before taking the professional level exam. I took the associate level exam before taking the professional level exam. I think it gives you great foundation. It's really more of a deep dive into some of the services, making sure you understand what they're called firstly, how they work, and how they all go together. The professional level exam had more of a solutions architect kind of focus, where you have to position yourself in the customer's shoes and understand the customer requirements before answering the question. That's the main difference. So how did I study for the exam? I started by using an A Cloud Guru course by Scott Pelcher, the AWS Solutions Well Architected Professional course. If you just type it in, you'll find it. I would really recommend this course. It's very concise. It talks about all of the topics that do come up in the exam. You do have to do additional reading around it, but it's a great visual representation and overview of what's covered in the exam. If you take more of a deeper dive into each section of what's provided in that online course, and by deeper dive I mean go and actually read the documentation on each service, go and read the AWS FAQs, then I think you are in good standing. But yes, start with online course, get a full overview of what the exam actually entails. After doing that, I would really recommend getting hands-on. So pulling out each service, going to the documentation and getting into the getting started section. In that section, they usually have a test app or a way you can test the service being discussed. I would really recommend getting hands-on with the services, spinning up databases, spinning up virtual machines, using things like CloudFormation, using things and actually setting up your own AWS organization. If you do not work within an organization that uses AWS heavily, I would really focus on setting up your own AWS organization, have different accounts, join them together, understand how you can link different accounts and in what scenarios you would choose to, for example, add an account to your organization or create a peering connection or a transient gateway. There's many different ways, but I think with the solutions architect exam, the main thing to focus on is when is the best time to use a particular service. What I found the difference between the associate level and the professional level to be is a lot of the answers may be right. So you may have 3 of them that actually technically they could work, but there's one of them that is the best way to do things. So always read through the question and understand what they are really trying to ask you. Are they asking you for the best way? Are they asking you for the most optimized, the most throughput? Or are they asking you for the lowest RTOs and RPOs, or no downtime, that kind of thing. Really look into what the questions are asking you. I'd really focus on web services, how you host web applications and the microservices behind that. I would focus on the caching layer, Elasticache, all of the database caches. There are a few questions around that. I would also say take a deep dive into migrating from on-prem to the cloud, migrating legacy application from on-prem to the cloud, and what kind of strategy you go for. Definitely understand deployment strategies and migration and deployment strategies. I would say they're a big feature within the exam. I would also say you should focus on cloud formation, and when migrating services, would you spin up your infrastructure using, for example, cloud formation, creating stack sets, understand what they are, and really take a deep dive into the services. If you log onto the AWS website or go into Google and just type in AWS well architected labs, you can go through a series of labs on security, reliability, cost optimization, and really get hands-on with some of the tools. There is a heavy focus on the enterprise use of AWS in the professional level exam. So I would really say understand AWS organizations, how you can partner with other AWS organizations or accounts, how you can invite accounts into your organization. When is the best time to do this, and when is the best time to pair with another account or a user transient gateway to share resources. Another thing I think you should focus on for the exam is the AWS database migration service and the schema tools, the different prereqs and requirements around migrating databases from on-prem to the cloud. Also focus on converting databases. There are a few questions about how you would convert one database to another. Think about the data you're actually storing and also the size of the data. So, exam format and strategy. To pass the exam, I would say you need a certain strategy. You need to keep your eye on the clock. There's 75 questions in 180 minutes. Personally, I did finish with a fair amount of time left, but in my mind, I scheduled myself 2 minutes per question. When I started the exam, I read the first 10 questions, I would say, answered the ones I could answer near enough straight away. And from there, I went through the exam further and kind of followed the same format, do 10 questions, answer the ones I could do straight away, flag the others. Then I would go back to the questions I haven't done and do it the same again, 10 in blocks of 10, go through the more challenging questions, really understand them and look for the key words. Like, are they looking for uptime? Are they looking for the fastest shift of data from cloud to on-prem? Do they not really mind about the time period it takes? Do they have a whole month to do it? So therefore you could do it over the wire and things like this. One of the challenges I found is the questions are really wordy. So if you're a person who kind of like reads and then gets lost in the words, I would say highlight the key things within the question. So they would have the customer problem, highlight the main problem, highlight the services that you think could solve that problem. So go through the answers and they'll have a list of services. Go through the services, think what are the best services to solve that problem, and then read the question once more to understand what are they actually asking you. Are they asking you to solve the problem with the least cost? Or are they asking for redundancy and high availability? Also, in regards to format, once you finished your exam, I would recommend going back through the questions, making sure you think you've got them correct, but also don't panic. Don't start changing answers because you've got a lot of spare time. You're more than likely gonna, I think, get it right the first time round. You might spot a mistake or two, but don't go over your exam and re-question yourself, because I think the questions are so similar that if you think that's the best for that scenario and you've done your whole... Yeah, another one of the best ways to study I would recommend is AWS FAQs. To get a quick overview of the service, any service, go through, just type in Google AWS, for example, Direct Connect FAQs, and read all of the FAQs top to bottom. That gives you such a concise version of what may be in the exam, but also about just a concise understanding of each service. Especially if you're doing this exam, for example, over the period of a month, 2 months, you've done some revision, you may forget a bit of the technical detail. The FAQs are a really, really good refresher. I would say you would pass the exam no problem if you've worked within the cloud environment, you've done your associate level certificate, and you follow these steps as well as doing the hands-on practical. If you haven't done any AWS exams before, you haven't taken the associate level exam, I would really recommend going for it, even though it's not a prereq anymore. And there's also a book, AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate book that I did use for the associate level exam. But that book is also great as it outlines all of the services that were available at the time. It's got labs in there. It's got some test questions in there. So if you're looking to do the professional exam and you don't want to take the associate level exam, at least read the associate level book. Go through some of the examples in the book and get familiar. If you log on to the AWS website and go to the Solutions Architect Professional Exam, there's a section at the bottom that says Prepare for Exam. If you click this and get into the professional level certifications section, it will show you the sample questions you can take, the FAQs and white papers that they recommend. I would recommend reading all of them. As you can see, they do mention the elastic beanstalk, things like auto scaling and load balancing. So definitely take a deep dive into those services as they are mentioned on their website. There's also some AWS readiness training you can take. You can have classroom training, which you may need to pay for. If your company is willing to pay for that, then great. There's the free digital training, and there's also free webinars you can search for. And there are great webinars on each service. They're on YouTube, and you can even find some on the AWS website. If your company is generous, I would recommend them book you on a 1-2 day course and give you a quick run through of how to take the exam. The readiness training is really good. I haven't used it myself, but I know some people that have. And if not, always A Cloud Guru, Udemy, there are great courses on there for this exam. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any queries about the AWS Solutions Architect Professional Exam, drop them in the comments. If you would like me to add to this video, please let me know. Do look out for the GCP, Azure, and further AWS videos we have coming out. We have videos on training. We have videos on how to pass GCP and Azure exams. So subscribe and stay tuned in. And as I said, I try to be as interactive as possible. So if there's any questions you do have, please just put them in the comments below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thank you for watching. I wish you all the best. Take it easy. Until next time.